At 11:47 p.m., the city of Brookhaven looked calm enough to forgive anything. Streetlights hummed softly. Storefronts reflected empty sidewalks. A late bus groaned past an abandoned diner, its windows glowing like tired eyes. To anyone watching from above, it was an ordinary night, the kind that disappeared as soon as morning arrived. Ethan Cole believed that too. He had parked 2 blocks from the apartment building, engine off, hands resting on the steering wheel longer than necessary. The radio was silent. His phone buzzed once on the passenger seat, then went still. He did not check it. Ethan was not a reckless man. He was careful by nature, the type who double-checked locks and memorized exits. A former army mechanic, he trusted routines and quiet order. He had spent the last 3 years building a life that stayed small on purpose. Tonight broke that rule. The building ahead was old, red brick stained dark from decades of rain. No security gate, no doorman, just a flickering porch light and a narrow entrance that swallowed sound. Apartment 3B. Ethan exhaled and stepped out of the car. The mistake did not feel like a mistake yet. It felt necessary. Inside, the stairwell smelled of dust and old paint. His boots echoed despite his attempt to step lightly. He paused at the 3rd floor, listening. No voices, no television noise, just the distant thrum of traffic and the soft click of the flickering light above him. He knocked once. Nothing. He knocked again, harder this time. The door opened halfway. "Ethan," a voice whispered. "You came." Lena Marshall looked thinner than he remembered. Her dark hair was pulled back in a messy knot, eyes sharp and restless. She kept one hand on the door, the other hidden behind it. "You shouldn't have," she said, though she stepped aside to let him in. "I got your message," Ethan replied. "You said it was urgent." "It is." The door locked behind him with a solid click that echoed louder than it should have. The apartment was sparsely furnished. A couch with a torn armrest. A small table covered in papers. A laptop sat open, its screen filled with lines of data Ethan did not understand. Lena paced. "I didn't know who else to call," she said. "You're the only person I trust." "That makes one of us," Ethan said lightly, though tension sat heavy in his chest. "What's going on?" She stopped pacing and looked at him. "I made a copy," she said. "A copy of what?" Her jaw tightened. She walked to the table and turned the laptop toward him. "Numbers, names, transfers, dates." Ethan frowned. "Lena, I don't. They're laundering money," she said. "Millions. Through shell companies, fake contracts, offshore accounts. And that's just what I've seen." "Who is they?" She hesitated. "People who will kill to keep this buried." Ethan straightened. "Then you go to the police." She laughed, sharp and humorless. "The police are part of it." Silence settled between them. Lena worked as a financial analyst for a private firm with government contracts. She had always been brilliant, always too curious for her own safety. Ethan had admired that once. Now it scared him. "I copied everything onto a drive," she said. "I was supposed to hand it over tonight. Off the books. A journalist I trust." "Supposed to." Her eyes flicked to the door. He didn't show. A sound echoed from the hallway. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Lena's face drained of color. "They found me," she whispered. Before Ethan could respond, a loud knock rattled the door. "Miss Marshall," a man's voice called out. Calm. Polite. "We need to speak with you." Ethan moved instinctively, positioning himself between Lena and the door. "Who is it?" she called, forcing steadiness into her voice. "Federal agents," the voice replied. "We're here to help." Ethan did not believe him. The knock came again, harder this time. "Open the door, Lena." She looked at Ethan, panic swimming just beneath the surface. "There's a back window," she whispered. "Fire escape." Another knock. Louder. Angry now. "Last warning." Lena shoved a small black flash drive into Ethan's hand. "Take it," she said. "If anything happens to me, this is the truth." "I'm not leaving you," Ethan said. "You have to," she snapped. "You're not on their radar. Yet." The door shook as something heavy struck it. Wood splintered. Ethan cursed under his breath and grabbed Lena's wrist, pulling her toward the bedroom. They reached the window just as the front door burst open. Heavy boots thundered inside the apartment. "Police!" someone shouted, though the words sounded rehearsed. Ethan shoved the window open and climbed onto the fire escape, helping Lena after him. Cold night air rushed in, sharp and unforgiving. They descended fast, metal rattling under their weight. Below, a black SUV idled at the curb, headlights off. The building door flew open. "Stop!" a man yelled. A gunshot cracked the night. The sound echoed between buildings, too loud, too final. Lena gasped and stumbled. Ethan caught her before she fell. "Run!" she cried. They hit the alley, feet pounding against wet concrete. Ethan's lungs burned. His heart hammered not just from fear, but from clarity. This was no misunderstanding. Another shot rang out, closer this time. They turned a corner, then another. Sirens wailed in the distance, though Ethan could not tell if they were coming for help or for them. Lena slowed. "I can't," she gasped. Ethan pulled her arm over his shoulder, forcing them forward. They reached a dead end. Brick walls rose on all sides. Footsteps approached. Flashlights cut through the darkness. "There," a voice said calmly. "End of the line." Ethan turned, shielding Lena. 3 men stood at the alley entrance. Dark jackets. No badges visible. Their guns were steady, professional. One of them stepped forward. "Mr. Cole," he said, "you weren't supposed to be part of this." Ethan's blood ran cold. "You know who I am." The man smiled faintly. "We know everything." Lena's grip tightened on Ethan's jacket. "Please," she said, "just let him go." The man ignored her. "That drive you're carrying," he said to Ethan. "It doesn't belong to you." Ethan did not answer. The man sighed. "One night," he said. "One mistake. That's all it took to ruin both your lives." Before Ethan could respond, headlights flooded the alley. A car screeched to a halt behind the men. Chaos exploded. Shouting. Movement. A flash of metal. Ethan felt Lena pulled from his grasp. A gun fired again, and then everything went black. Ethan woke to the taste of blood and asphalt. For a moment, he could not tell where he was. His head throbbed in slow, heavy waves. Sounds reached him in fragments. A car door slamming. Distant voices. The low hum of an engine. He tried to move. Pain answered first. "Don't," a woman said quietly. "You'll make it worse." Ethan forced his eyes open. He was lying across the back seat of a car, his head propped against a jacket that smelled faintly of gasoline and coffee. The interior lights were dim. The car was moving. "Where's Lena?" he croaked. The woman glanced at him through the rearview mirror. She was in her early 30s, sharp eyes, dark hair pulled into a tight ponytail. "That depends," she said. "Are you awake enough to listen?" Ethan tried to sit up and failed. "Where is Lena?" The woman sighed. "Alive. For now." Relief washed through him, quickly followed by fear. "Who are you?" he asked. "Someone who doesn't want what's on that flash drive destroyed," she replied. "My name is Rachel Knox." The name meant nothing to him. The car slowed, then turned. Streetlights streaked past the windows. "They were going to kill us," Ethan said. "They still might," Rachel replied. "But not tonight." Ethan swallowed. His hand instinctively moved to his pocket. The flash drive was still there. Rachel noticed. "Good," she said. "That saves time." "Who were those men?" Ethan asked. "Contractors," she said. "Not official, but close enough that people stop asking questions." "And you?" She paused before answering. "Independent," she said finally. "Which means I don't have backup." The car pulled into an underground parking garage and stopped. The engine cut off, leaving sudden silence. Rachel turned in her seat. "Before we go any further, I need to know something," she said. "Are you willing to disappear for a while?" Ethan laughed weakly. "I think that decision was made for me." She nodded once. "Good answer." They moved him into an empty apartment above the garage. It smelled clean and used. No personal touches. No photos. No signs of life. A safe place, but not a home. Rachel cleaned the cut on his head with practiced hands. "You've done this before," Ethan said. "Enough times," she replied. "What about Lena?" "She's in protective custody," Rachel said. "Unofficially." "It's a careful truth," Rachel said. "She's alive, but she's not free." Ethan clenched his jaw. "They'll kill her." "They will try," Rachel said. "Which is why what you have matters." He looked at the flash drive again. "What exactly did she give me?" Rachel hesitated, then answered plainly. "Proof that a private security firm has been siphoning federal money into black operations. Assassinations. Disappearances. Political leverage. Who's behind it?" Rachel met his eyes. "People you see on television." Ethan leaned back, dizzy. "Then this never makes it out." "It does if we're careful," she said. A phone buzzed on the table. Rachel checked it, her expression tightening. "They know you survived," she said. "How?" She tilted her head. "Because you're still breathing." The next 2 days passed in fragments. Rachel moved them between locations. Empty warehouses. Short stays in cheap motels. Always moving. Always watching. Ethan barely slept. Each time he closed his eyes, he saw Lena pulled away from him. Heard the gunshot again. On the third night, Rachel stopped the car on a deserted overpass. "We're meeting someone," she said. "Who?" The journalist Lena mentioned. A man stepped out of the shadows. Mid-40s. Scruffy beard. Nervous energy. "Name's Daniel Moore," he said. "I assume you're the reason my phone hasn't stopped ringing." Rachel handed him the flash drive. He stared at it like it might explode. "This," he said slowly, "ends careers." "It might end lives," Ethan replied. Daniel nodded. "Including mine." Sirens wailed in the distance. Rachel stiffened. "That's too soon," she muttered. Headlights appeared at the far end of the overpass. "Too many." "Get down," Rachel snapped. Gunfire erupted before Ethan could react. Concrete chipped. Metal screamed. Daniel dropped behind a barrier, clutching the drive. "They tracked us," he yelled. Rachel returned fire, controlled and precise. "They always do," she shouted back. Ethan crawled toward Daniel. "Give me the drive," he said. Daniel hesitated. "Trust me," Ethan said. "They already know you." Daniel shoved it into Ethan's hand just as a bullet shattered the barrier. "Run!" Rachel yelled. He ran. The overpass ended in darkness. Below, water glinted. He didn't think. He jumped. The fall stole his breath, and the cold water swallowed him whole. He sank, lungs screaming, before clawing his way back to the surface. The world was chaos. Sirens, shouts, flashing lights. He swam until his arms were lead, then crawled onto the bank and vanished into the trees. By morning, the city was screaming his name. News headlines painted him as a fugitive, a suspect, a dangerous accomplice. Lena's face appeared, blurred and unnamed. Rachel was missing. Daniel Moore, hospitalized. The story was neat. Too neat. Ethan hid in plain sight, moving through bus stations and diners, changing his clothes, cutting his hair. 3 weeks later, it happened. The leak. Documents flooded the internet. Names, accounts, signed orders. The outrage was immediate. Arrests followed. Resignations. Denials. Rachel contacted him once, from a burner phone. A single message: "She's safe. So are you. Stay gone." Now, in a small town bar, Ethan watched the news on a muted TV. Lena's name was never mentioned. Neither was his. The world moved on. That night, in a motel under a false name, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling. One night, one mistake. The truth was out, but some doors, once opened, can never be closed again.